Hello there, Gacha gamers. This is delayed. Uh, it's been a hot month. I can't lie. I didn't really want to do anything because I spent all month thinking I was never getting the MR, and then as you can see here, fortunately I did. There was a lot of stress around this game. The last thing I was thinking about was content, but I got it. So here I am doing my due diligence, and we're going to cover everything all at once here. Which I guess is a little bit nicer, a little bit more concise. The card itself seems generally fine. 10 standard training, 25 loyalty bonus, 120 boost to both stats. This weird training boost that was on the Zan, and I think it just gives you like a one-off boost anywhere between 5 to 99 randomly. If I get more info on that, I'll update it when I have more info, but in my testing I couldn't see anything solid about it. 8 great trance, 20 more loyalty bonus there, the 1% with the extra training boosts, standard limit break things, and another 8% training bonus. You know, it's a really solid card. Even at 3, like, this doesn't need to be maxed. Modern cards don't need to be maxed. It's helpful, but they don't necessarily need it. It doesn't have an extra bonus, so it is literally just the standard skills. You know, there's no extra battle special. That was the word I was after. So your first one, your skill 1, which you get 2 cracks at, is the Seraphina Passion. If you take 5 or more guts damage, your evasion and toughness increase by 5% to a maximum of 20. That then goes up to 10% to a maximum of 40, and when a red move hits, deploy a shield. Although, of what value, I'm not quite sure. Deploy a shield 20 seconds, 1 time, maximum value plus 100. Not so sure. I'm going to have to see if I can see that proc and maybe give further info on that. The other is relatively simple. If you have more health, you dodge more. If you have less health, you reduce damage. So follow-up evasion rate as well. So we can dodge follow-ups as the colour red now. And durability plus 20% and damage block plus 25%, which means once you start getting battered, there's a small comeback instance. It's nothing huge. Then we have the Monol card. That's the actual Monol itself. The two things that I didn't get were the inorganic things, and that does make me a little sad. The Monol card is, you know, it's your standard fare for what modern cards are now. A bit of training, a bit of great, a big stat bonus. You've got the inorganic bonus, the training and fatigue bonus, 40% EX chance, 50% errantry and more boosts. It's pretty much a 1-for-1 of the Lobster Zan. I can't remember its proper name. Oh, apologies. So the skill we have is Monodas Chaser. Self-red, when a red skill hits, the following effects are activated: a follow-up with 5% chance of your int, a follow-up with 40% chance of dealing 10% damage twice, and when advantageous, a follow-up of plus 20. These numbers go up to 3 attacks based on your intelligence with 5%, 50% for 2 more with 10% damage, and advantageous, the chance of a follow-up is 50. It's alright, you know, it's follow-up damage. Follow-up damage is what it is. Again, no battle special. And you've got then Monodas Avoid, which also does work for general monols. I really don't know what it means by next effect fruit. But complete evasion, level 2, minus 10% intelligence. Complete evasion, level 4, 30% intelligence, and a technique that is within any range, all unusable for 10 seconds if you are a mono. Now, I think that might be slightly garbled. I think that might be within its range that you've been hit by. But that would be interesting if it is quite as savage as it sounds. And then we also have the frog mono. Frog mono. It wishes it could be a frog mono. Yes, this hideous green thing. Look, I don't care. It's a Mochi. And it's a spirit card. 10% training, 10% great chance, 120 to speed and intelligence. It's the strange loyalty bonus again. This is not a good bonus as far as I'm concerned. But it sure wants to exist on everything at the minute. It does have the standard training bonus, so the more of the same type you use, the more bonus you get for a maximum of 10%. And you know, it's a solid card. You know, it's not earth-shattering in any way, shape or form. There is no loyalty bonus on it. It's 18% for both training bonus and 18 plus to great bonuses. And then we have the skills. So your Jingoro Chaser is what you get 2 attempts at. No battle special again. And that's first half Phantom Spirit. When the skill hits, the following effect: 10% damage follow-up once if you're advantageous, 5% chance, that can't be a chance, 5% int stat bonus. Then your better level is still first half, 20% follow-up attack one time, 5% of your intelligence, 5% of your evasion, and 10% based on your intelligence one time. So, like, cool, I guess. Like a really weak follow-up, but maybe they don't want it to be strong because Arc exists. And then Makizusia Append, first half Phantom Spirit, 10. When using the same technique consecutively, damage dealt increases plus 10% up to a maximum of 3 times. Effect resets if a different technique is used. If your opponent is a demon, deal additional damage. Like, this is rubbish. This is absolutely rubbish. There is a very niche instance of this being useful in, the ranking events. Outside of that, hot garbage. Because you're never going to be able to control using the same tech in anything that matters. So, this card is an absolute sleep. And on that note, I will see you all next time.